He called it a wrong turn, and that it most definitely was. A recent work of art by fashion photographer Raj Shetye has taken social media by storm. His photo shoot, which bears a stark resemblance to the Nirbhaya rape case, is being heavily criticized. While it may have angered the masses, the photographer thinks he's done nothing wrong and is using the liberty he has to express himself in the manner he wishes to. Here's the full story.
A glamour shoot on a bus, depicting a woman apparently being preyed upon by men, tastefully shot in soft light. But think of what these photographs remind you of. If you haven't heard about it, you've probably guessed already. Fashion photographer Raj Shetye's latest photo shoot, called The Wrong Turn, draws inspiration from December 2012 Delhi gang rape case that horrified the nation. While there's widespread disgust over Shetye's choice of setting and subject, of using rape as a metaphor to sell clothes, he has defended his right to art and expression. Shetye says he has long wanted to depict atrocities against women through his art and doesn't believe it's inappropriate. He also says he's glad that his work has sparked a conversation. The thing is, much of that conversation is disgust, anger, and total disbelief.
Not surprisingly, this photo shoot attracting a lot of negative attention on Twitter. And I wanted to take you first to Gayatri, one Twitter user, who says there's no dearth of morons. A fashion photo shoot inspired by the Nirbhaya gang rape. How seriously we seem to be taking rape and human dignity in this country. We have one from Agratha Dinakaran, who's a model herself. She says, are we now glamorizing rape by doing a photo shoot inspired by Nirbhaya? My stomach just churned. One Twitter user, Nigel Brito, says, if until yesterday you had not heard of Raj Shetye, but you know of him today, the objective of his Nirbhaya photo shoot has been fulfilled. And finally, we have the editor of BuzzFeed India, Rega Jha, who says, I interviewed photographer Raj Shetye of the Nirbhaya-esque photo shoot, and I'm not buying it, in her words.
Is this merely art? Is the overt anger of these photographs justified? Or are we looking at the final breakdown of how rape is regarded in India? With Aishi Syal in Mumbai, Diksha Nijhavan, Headlines Today.
Photographer Raj Shetye thinks he's done absolutely nothing wrong. He says this is not meant to glamorize the act of rape. It's just a way of throwing light on it. Being a part of society and being a photographer, the topic moves me from the inside. I stay in a society where my mother, my girlfriend, my sister are out there, and something like this can happen to them. He's called it the wrong turn. And is it indeed completely wrong for Raj Shetye to have actually used gang rape sequences in a photo shoot? A lot of anger, a lot of disgust. Let's get some reactions. We've got Gaurav Gupta, fashion designer, joining us on this broadcast. Gaurav, the photographer justifying his act, but there's a lot of anger and outrage amongst several other photographers, people in the fashion community, who think that this is not the manner in which the Nirbhaya incident must be portrayed at all.
Yes, completely. I agree with you. I think it's done in extreme taste. I'm shocked myself. I think this doesn't represent fashion at all. And rape and rights for women in this country is a very, very serious issue. It's an epidemic in the country, and we need to really handle it very sensitively. And this is just something which I just see it as very, very silly, very distasteful, disgraceful, and just completely thoughtless.
Stay with me, Gaurav. One of India's best-known photographers, Dabu Ratnani, is also joining us on this broadcast. As somebody who does a lot of very fashionable photography, what do you think about Raj Shetye's effort to try and use rape as a prop to build awareness, he says, about gang rapes?
More than anything, it's really sad to choose a subject like this and to, thinking of what happened. It was a nationwide. Everybody was going, it was such a large issue. I mean, it's shocking that I, read about this today, that it's become a topic of fashion photography. I think it's just an excuse right now to try to cover it up, because I was absolutely shocked when I saw those images. to be so heartless to make a fashion and sell clothes out of this. I mean, I don't think those clothes would even sell if somebody was trying to promote it like that. I'm in complete shock, honestly.
Raj Shetye, Dabu's defending and justifying what he's done, saying this is not meant to glamorize the act, it's a way of throwing light on it. I have the creative freedom to use whatever means I want to send out the message that I hope and wish to do so. Do you think that's acceptable as an explanation?
One thing I'll tell you, fashion, definitely you can get inspired by whatever you want. I mean, sure, one point is true, but the thing is that to get inspired by something so sad and which is, which had hit the whole nation with such a bang. I mean, this is just trying to. I feel it's misusing a concept, and he shouldn't he shouldn't generalize and talk for the full fashion industry. I don't think that's right. I don't think anybody except him has understood this concept because, I mean, it's very, very disturbing. We have kids, we have daughters. I mean, to think of your family had gone through something like this, and then if somebody was insensitive and made a fashion statement out of it, I don't think he would have taken it really well, So,
BJP spokesperson and fashion designer herself, Shaina NC, also joins us on this broadcast from Mumbai. Shaina, as a fashion designer yourself, do you think this is acceptable for photographer Raj Shetye to say that this is the prop that he is using to send a larger message against rape? Or do you think this is just a very cheap attempt to glamorize what is a very dastardly act and something that Raj had no business doing?
This is nothing but cheap publicity. And the most misused phrase is freedom to expression and my creativity. Damn this creativity if this is the way you want to arrive and you want to show that you are a photographer who's ingenious. This is nothing but objectification of a woman. This is treating a woman as an item, and especially in this particular case. Rahul, I was on a debate with Nirbhaya's mother earlier in the day, and she literally had tears in her eyes when she was saying that what is this photographer and the models up to? You have models in embellished outfits, tossed with makeup, wearing all kinds of jewelry, sitting and cozying up with gentlemen, or I wouldn't even want to call them gentlemen, models who have done this for commercial gain. And what is the aesthetic of this? To suggest that this is your tribute to a girl who lost her life fighting for it, and to glamorize yourself only to arrive or to be known as a fashion photographer, I think this is the cheapest of cheap. And I hope the NCW really takes cognizance of this and does not just send a notice to the publication and the photographer and the models, but pursues this case, because this is obscenity, and with obscenity, lack of sensitivity, which I think we all need to have an outcry and outburst towards.
What action, Shaina, do you believe needs to be taken against the models, the photographer who put this entire shoot together? Do you believe they should be let off with a warning, or do you believe more severe action needs to be taken against them?
Well, that's for the authorities to decide, but I think more severe action, because this is not just about commercial gain, this is about insensitivity in society, and it's about obscenity. I mean, if you see those visuals, being a fashion designer myself, I can tell you it's nothing but disgust to see those men calling up with this girl in without the slightest bit of remorse, to try and glamorize rape. I think is a heinous crime as well, because it gives all those perverts in society who are watching this. And my appeal to you as the media would be, please do not give this photographer his moment of glory, because this is a moment of shame for every Indian. And if he feels by resorting to such cheap stunts he's going to get away scot-free, I think the least he can be booked for is obscenity and insensitivity in a public space. And for the media house that is publishing this also, they too cannot get away scot-free.
Joining us also on this broadcast is Badrinath, Nirbhaya's father. Badrinath ji, ये फैशन फोटोग्राफर कह रहे हैं कि रेप के मुद्दों के बारे में वो अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. इस तरह से एक बस के अंदर रेप का एक फोटो शूट करके। क्या आपको लगता है चाइना एनसी जो कि बीजेपी की लीडर है वो कहती हैं कि उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए, कानूनी कार्रवाई ऑब्ससीनिटी की, क्योंकि उन्होंने बहुत सारी महिलाओं की सेंसिबिलिटी को ऑफेंड किया है और इस तरीके से करना पूरा गलत है?
बिल्कुल सही बात है। हम अब किस शब्द में इसका खंडन करें, लेकिन ये समझ लीजिए कि उन्होंने इतना गलत चीज दिखाया है, इतना गलत किया है कि एक तरह से जो देश के नौजवान हैं और उनको तो जिनको अच्छा लगता होगा इस तरह की चीजें, उनके लिए तो उन्होंने बढ़ावा दे दिया, क्राइम को बढ़ावा दे रहे हैं ये। और फैशन की जहाँ तक बात आती है कि फैशन दिखा रहे हैं, इस निर्भया कांड में कहीं भी देखिए कि 16 दिसंबर जबकि कड़कती ठंड थी उस समय, कोई भी व्यक्ति बिना चादर के बिना कपड़ा पहने कहीं नहीं जाता। इन्होंने मॉडल दिखाकर क्या निर्भया के साथ किया है? निर्भया के साथ नहीं, पूरे देश के साथ इन्होंने घिनौना किया है और इनको सजा मिलनी चाहिए। इसके विषय में हम अभी नहीं, अपने वकील से बात करके हम हो सकता है कि इनके ऊपर केस भी करेंगे और हम चाहेंगे कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट इनके ऊपर बैंड लगाए, जो भी बना है इसको खत्म करे और इनको सजा दे अपने हिसाब से। दूसरी बात कि हम नरेंद्र मोदी जी से भी ये कहेंगे कि इनको इस तरह के जो भी कार्य करने वाले हैं, चाहे बनाने वाले हैं, चाहे देश को शर्मसार करने वाले हैं या किसी भी तरह से देश को क्षति पहुंचाते हैं, चाहे शब्दों से चाहे अपने पोस्टर से, जैसे भी उनको कोई न कोई सजा की व्यवस्था की जाए कि जिससे आगे चलकर कोई भी व्यक्ति इस तरह का कर्म करने का हिमायत न करे।
बद्रीनाथ जी, हमसे बात करने के लिए आपका धन्यवाद। क्लियरली what Raj Shetye has done is in very, very bad taste. The least he owes is an apology, and to try and glamorize the act of rape and also use a bus setting to create this entire photo shoot is simply not in good taste. We've got some breaking news coming in that Mizoram Governor Kamla Beniwal, who was formerly the Governor of Gujarat, has been sacked. There's a statement that's been put out by the NDA government which says that action has been taken against her. She no longer holds that charge. And joining us also, we'll get several reactions on this, but since Shaina NC is with us, I want to go across to her and get her to comment on this. This seems like an act of vendetta. She was the governor of Gujarat. She did not allow Narendra Modi to put a Lokayukt of his choice, stood her ground. She was first shunted out to Mizoram and now being sacked. Why act in this fashion, Shaina?
Rahul, please look at the merits of this case. Mrs. Kamla Beniwal has not just misused her position of power. On record, through right to information, we have been given to understand that she has misused her position by using private helicopter services, aircraft services to the tune of 8.5 crores to her native place, which is Jaipur. Now this, for anybody in a position of power, is nothing but blatant misuse of your official position. As the government, we did not respond to it until this was brought to light, and this was brought to light by the citizens who filed a complaint also in the courts and through right to information. Now, if she has misused her position to the tune of 8.5 crores of taxpayers' money, I think as the government in power, we are entitled to take a proactive stand. This is not about political vendetta. If it
You're
was,
saying this is not vendetta, this is on the basis of RTI applications that reveal how she misused funds. I'm coming back to you. Senior Congress leader Renuka Chaudhary is joining us on this broadcast. The communique from Rashtrapati Bhavan says that Vinod Kumar Duggal will take over as the Governor of Mizoram for the time being until regular arrangements are made. Is this just a pure administrative decision, or do you see a great amount of vendetta because of the role that she played when she was Governor of Gujarat, madam, and when Prime Minister Modi was the Chief Minister of the state? Ms. Chaudhary? Give me a moment as I try and fix that, because while you will say, Shaina, that this is not an act of vendetta, people will draw conclusions. People will say that because she was Governor of Gujarat, because she played the role that she did installing the appointment of Modi's choice as Lokayukt, therefore first she was shunted out and now she's been sacked.
Well, people can say what they want and come to any conjecture, but the point and the fact of the matter is there is truth to this allegation. She has misused her position as governor, and this is brought to light not by the BJP but by an ordinary citizen of this country. And if we are a government that chooses to be proactive and show the model of good governance and probity in public life, the first thing to do is that she must resign from her position, and this case must be brought to the logical conclusion. So you're saying since
she didn't resign, since serious charges were leveled against her, therefore it is only natural to maintain standards of probity that action be taken and that she be sacked. Renuka Chaudhary, senior leader of the Congress party, is now joining us on this broadcast. Ms. Chaudhary, the BJP says this is not vendetta. She's been found guilty of clocking 277 flying hours and 66 trips at an estimated cost of about $1.5 crore per trip. Now that is the reason why she has been sacked. Do you think that is an acceptable explanation, or do you think this action reeks of vendetta, ma'am?
Of course it reeks of vendetta. Is there any doubt about that? At least they should have the courage to come up and say, yes, we are in governance now and this is what we choose to do. Please be upfront about it. Why are they doing all this cloak and dagger stuff and trying to sound so virtuous about, how much she spent, how many kilometers she's clocked on the helicopter? Let's not do that. Let's not pretend to the nation, since they are sounding so virtuous about doing the right thing and good governance. They really should have thought about it when they were loading the anti-terrorist police onto private planes, snooping on some girls.
No, ma'am, but there are serious charges. It's an RTI application, so it's not even as if there is an unsubstantiated charge against her, which says in the last 3 years, Beniwal flew out of Gujarat 63 times, mostly to her hometown of Jaipur. Now, if you do this and you misuse a state aircraft for private use, surely as a governor that's not acceptable action and behavior.
No, of course, we are not condoning whether she flew or not. Those are not the facts. I'm not holding a brief for Beniwalji. But I'm saying that this was not removed because of some halo around their head. Okay? And there are many incidents which a lot of money of public has been misused by them. So this is not that. I'm saying let them be upfront and say, we didn't like her, we had a running feud with her. And we tried to humiliate her. We thought she'd quit when we posted her to Mizoram. And now she's more tenacious than what we thought. So now we're going to fix her. Please come up and see that.
Okay, I must get China to respond to that this is not just an administrative decision. This is a decision which Renuka Chaudhary alleges reeks of vendetta, and the BJP government, she says, must admit that publicly.
If it was vendetta, Rahul, why wouldn't she be sacked moment the NDA came into power? We did not do that. This is a right to information application which proves beyond doubt how she has misused her power, used a state aircraft not on one occasion or two or three or in special cases, but on over 60 cases. And Mrs. Chaudhary can choose to have blinkers and say that, this is not a serious allegation and they have misused public money. We have not. We believe in probity in public life, and if we are a proactive government, I think you should welcome it. And you should yourself say that yes, if there is a right to information case which proves without any doubt or without any distinction that she has misused her position as the governor, she must resign. That is the correct stand to take, not to put blinkers and say this is a story of political vendetta because you have no other argument to give. And if it was vendetta, why didn't we sack her the moment we came into power?
Both sides have spoken. We won't take a position. We leave it to our viewers to decide where they stand. Is this a justified action or is this vendetta? You decide where you stand. For the time being, Renuka Chaudhary and also Shaina NC for joining us in Center Stage tonight. Thank you very much. Have you ever heard of an engineering college that will pay you money for taking admission? You heard that right. You get paid to take admission. Have you heard of a system whereby paying 10,000 rupees per subject, the engineering college will help you pass the exams, where getting a student admitted to your college will get you a rebate on your fee? Welcome to the reality of engineering education in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. This is a Headlines Today exclusive.
Get paid to study in an engineering college. Get a discount on college fee by getting another student admitted. Get photocopies of answer sheets during exams. This might seem like an advertisement for the private institute, but it's actually the reality of engineering education in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. What's more, a student doesn't even need to secure a decent rank in the engineering admission test. A broker can get you a seat in an engineering college.
Last rank means if it is you are getting 3 lakhs also, you are going to get the seat. Some XYZ colleges, not in top colleges, some XYZ colleges. From that college also we are getting that amount. Yeah, 35,000, some college 20, 15, 10, 20, like that.
This student got admitted to the computer engineering stream without securing a rank in the admission test. In his second year now, he was in fact given 35,000 rupees for taking admission to the college. This because the college wanted to show more students on its rolls.
Office lo work chese vallu itla join avandi college బాగుంటది ఎంసెట్ వేసి నా ఎంసెట్ క్వాలిఫై కాని వాళ్ళకి ఇది మంచి అవకాశం అందుకోసం ఎంసెట్ వేసి పెడతాను ఒకసారి మీరు జాయిన్ అవ్వండి బాగుంటది అని చెప్పారు అలా జాయిన్ అయ్యాను.
The fee reimbursement scheme was introduced by Y.S. Raj Shetye in 2009. It provided for the government to reimburse every college 35,000 rupees annually for every engineering college. The scheme was meant for students with family income of less than 1 lakh rupees per annum, and it cost the government 5,700 crore rupees per year. But instead of nurturing qualified engineers, the scheme has spawned an unscrupulous money-making industry in the name of higher education.
Go to the homes of the students, they request them, they take their certificate saying that I will give you 5,000 or 10,000 rupees.
For the colleges, every student translates into 35,000 rupees per year, so they make an effort to net more students, even asking their senior students to help out.
If I introduce 2 to 3 students for the next academic year, they will cancel the bus fees, the college will cancel the bus fees.
Since the government will reimburse fees only for students who pass the final exam, there's an arrangement to take care of that as well.
How does the college help you pass an exam even when you are appearing for the exam at another college?
For each subject we'll pay 10,000 for the college and they'll provide with many Xerox with answers.
With T.S. Sudhir in Hyderabad, Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
Turning engineering education into a complete farce. This is exactly the sort of misuse of funds that governments need to clamp down on. But given how they're pushing populism and are only interested in winning brownie points, I'm afraid the government of Telangana or Andhra Pradesh doesn't seem in any mood to put a stop to this practice. We of course will keep tracking the story and pressurizing the education ministries to act and act fast.